I'm Noble Brantley. Today we're going to be discussing the ancient Greek city-state of Delphi, more specifically social structure, geography, government, memorable contributions they made, and how long did they last? Graham, what can you tell me about the social structure of Delphi?
It's divided into three main groups, with the government officials being the highest, obviously. And then in the middle we have the free people, like your average everyday citizen. And then after that we have the slaves, because they don't have any rights because they're stuff.
Okay, so free people meaning men who own slaves?
They're only owned because they owe money to them. So they're working for them to pay off the debt.
Okay. Next, the geographical location of Delphi. Delphi is located on the sign of Mount Parnassus, which is located next to the Gulf of Corinth. It had a usual Mediterranean climate that's hot and dry summer with a mild or wet winter. And the main economy was farming. Next question. I've been hearing lately that some people have been calling Delphi the center of the earth. Can you enlighten me on what that's all about?
Yes. It is because Zeus wanted to determine where exactly the middle of the earth was, so we had two eagles flying from the east and the west, and where they met, that's where Delphi was, and at the exact location where they met is where the Temple of Apollo is.
Okay, the Temple of Apollo is home of the Oracle of Delphi.
Correct.
Okay. So that is where the Temple of Apollo, where the two eagles met.
Where the two eagles crossed. Exactly,
Okay.
is where the temple is. Yes.
Well, that's very interesting, right? As for the government of Delphi, because it was a city-state, which isn't closely connected with the original government of Greece, it went through a couple of different cycles of what government it actually had, starting with a dictatorship, then a democracy, which was created by the Athenians, later a monarchy, and then eventually even an oligarchy. As for how long the city-state of Delphi lasted, it started in 1400 BC. Although it's changed possessions, it's never actually fallen. So today you can go to Delphi. It'll just be under a different dynasty or monarch. As for contributions made by Delphi, one of the most important would be the oracle. The oracle of Delphi was something that soldiers who were about to go to battle or kings who would make a great decision would go to, so that they could please the gods with the decision. The oracle was said to have a special ability to communicate with the gods. So you would come to her, ask her a question. She would come back to you and tell you what she felt the gods were telling her. Now, a lot of times this would be a very vague answer, so sometimes it wouldn't be very clear. One specific instance where the oracle was asked a question was when Croesus was debating going to war with the Persians. So he came to the oracle and asked what would happen if he went to war with Persia. The oracle replied saying that a mighty empire would be destroyed. Thinking that meant the Persians, Croesus went to war with the Persians, and Croesus was destroyed. So like I was saying before, even though the oracle gave a very vague response, one of them had to be true. Which begs the question, was she really an oracle, or did she just give smart responses that could be interpreted either way? So whether the oracle could actually see into the future and communicate with the gods or not, she had to have an excuse for where she got this power. This came from Apollo. She said that Apollo would give her the visions through the other gods. The other gods would have the answer, give it to Apollo, and Apollo would provide it to the oracle. And that's how she gave them the answer. Now, when someone wanted to ask the oracle a question, they would go, of course, to Delphi, but then more specifically, they would go to the Temple of Apollo, which was originally built just to worship the god Apollo. And then, when the oracle came, she took over the Temple of Apollo because she claimed to use her powers from Apollo to give these predictions. Good night.
My name is Lainey.
My name is Noble Brantley.
We have been recording for 17 seconds. Okay.
Well, stop the recording.
Good.
Wow, I look like the Joker.
My head looks like a mountain.
That's really awkward.
I thought you were going to start talking.
No,
No.
it's very boring.
The social structure.
I'm Noble Brantley.
Oh.
Look at our ticket.
What? I understand that was also very proud. I'm Noble Brantley. Sam Douglas, who's here to... He's a...
You tried.
Hi.
Druggies,
Hi.
crackheads.